It's the Cobry Cafetiere of cloud knowledge. Oh yeah.
Google Voice is a VoIP solution from Google, which is voice over IP, and that means that it's basically telephony over the internet. So rather than using kind of standard telephone wires, connections, and whatnot, it's delivered over the internet. So you need either Wi-Fi or like 4G signal to actually run the calls.
What is the difference between business telephony and just having a number?
There's an element of, central governance, that you can deploy numbers easily. You're still within the sort of Google wrapper. You can look at analytics and things like that without having to go to another tool set.
Most companies will probably have mobile numbers for people as well, like for being out and about. Whether that's on like a company handset or if it's a BYOD kind of situation. But in terms of being able to transfer calls and route people through if they're calling like a kind of generic number, like for the business, you wouldn't be able to do that with mobiles. A couple of those would include just being able to transfer calls from one person to another if somebody rings in, which is pretty much a key use case for basically any business that's got phone calls coming in. The other one was ring groups, so that if you call one number, it rings on numerous phones all at once. Voicemails are also just transcribed, so you don't need to just call up and listen back and try to take down your notes. Like you actually get an email with a written transcript of your voicemail, which is amazing.
You can set up automatic forwarding, so if someone sends if someone calls your Google Voice number, you can have it automatically forwarded to another kind of mobile device. So say if you have a works phone or a personal phone, you can have that automatically forwarded.
The other kind of use case for that, like for doing the number forwarding, is if you know that you're going to be going somewhere, whether you're going off site or visiting a customer or anywhere where you're not going to have bad internet connection, there's not going to be any Wi-Fi, there's not going to be good 4G coverage, you can forward it on to your mobile number so that you can take it over a regular phone call rather than a VoIP phone call. So that just kind of maintains that you're going to get the calls rather than relying on patchy coverage. There's three options, high, medium and low. And the top tier, you basically get the option of having multiple international offices and different international numbers available, rather than if you're on standard, then you would be restricted to just UK numbers where you can have your offices. So if you do need to have that international corporate setup, then you would be on the top tier to allow for that. But otherwise, you can set up multiple different geographical based numbers for the offices throughout the UK or whichever country you're in. There's no upfront costs, there's no big setup. Just pay the extra license for however many users need a number. Create your ring groups, create your auto attendant so that people can call up and get a menu of options so they get through to the right department or even the right user.